Hi, everybody. I'm Lisa Tversky, co-chair of the upcoming Nefesh International Conference. And with me now, I'm so excited, is Dr. Ari Tuckman, a renowned expert in ADHD, a clinician, a lecturer, an author of many books, which I'm list at the end of this. But we're going to jump right in to talk about the two presentations. It's comprising a full day, basically, two half-day presentations on ADHD. The first one is entitled Family Therapy for ADHD, Childhood Through Launching. And the second half in the afternoon is ADHD in Love, Treating Couples When One Partner Has ADHD. Welcome, Dr. Tuckman, and thank you so much for doing this. I really
Great to be here.
appreciate it.
Glad to be talking. I'm always glad to be talking about this stuff. I'm going to be honest.
Okay, so let's break it down. The morning workshop, family therapy for ADHD, childhood through launching. What can people hope to address? I mean, the title kind of says it, but give us a little bit of a taste of where we're going to be going with that.
So the two presentations, let me just start with this. Obviously, there's some themes that kind of run through, but also each of them stands alone and they don't really repeat each other. So you could do one, you could do the other, you could do both. But the one on basically parenting kids with ADHD is talking about how to sort of foster independent functioning, how to help parents and kids and young adults, with ADHD become more effective at the things that they need to, right? So there are less, I don't know, unproductive power struggles. There's less either powerlessness on the case of the parents feeling like they can't do anything right, or alternatively kind of over controlling on the part of the parents because they have to get everything right. Less sort of passivity on the part of the kid, or alternatively oppositionality, right? So it's kind of helping these families navigate these transitions in a more effective way. So going from elementary school to middle school to high school to college or whatever kind of lies beyond high school.
And one quick question, I don't think you're going to be giving anything away if you answer this one. Do you find overall that a parent with ADHD has an easier time or something in parenting, or the parent without ADHD? Who struggles more in parenting that child? Just curious.
Yeah, it sort of cuts both ways, because on the one hand, the parent with ADHD can sort of empathize and it's like, look, I get it. I had the same struggles. By the way, I still do. Also, by the way, if you have a kid in a family with ADHD, you could probably bet $50 that one of the parents also has it, kind of statistically
That's why I'm
speaking.
asking.
So,
Right.
yeah, this is also why we're doing part 2, talking about couples and, how do those dynamics play out? And, if you have a kid with ADHD or more, right, then maybe if one parent has ADHD, it can really exacerbate the dynamics between the parents as well. So, you have to be able to you got to work it on both sides, right? Like,
Right.
obviously, we want them to be good parents and to help this kid grow into an adult who feels effective and, has the credentials of life that they need to sort of create a life for themselves. But also, we want the parents to sort of role model how to handle differences, how to negotiate things, how to solve problems, how to balance, the work of the house and everything else and play. And so, yeah, so I think there's a lot that we're going to kind of get into across these two presentations that I'm doing.
Right. It sounds like almost the second presentation, with which maybe you want to say a little bit more about, but it's sort of, do you do one? Do you do, the whole spectrum sounds really important, because the parenting and the likelihood that there's a parent, and so therefore the couple and how they, so
Yeah.
yeah, that sounds like it's sort of a must. So can we hear a little bit about what you'll help us learn to help our clients with, in our couples with, in that second
Yeah.
workshop?
I mean, one of the things I always sort of tell clinicians is first of all, I think if you're a clinician who sees kids, it's sort of hard to not know ADHD, right? It's sort of too common to say like, oh yeah, I don't really do that. But there are a lot of clinicians out there who see adults either individually or do couples therapy who kind of don't really actually have that much experience with ADHD or they haven't gotten that much training. And they actually
Hmm.
they have a lot of experience with ADHD because adults with ADHD are overrepresented in individual therapy, they're overrepresented in couples therapy.
Mm,
There's a lot of comorbidities that sort of come along for the ride. So even if, like, I don't know, you specialize in eating disorders treatment, I guarantee you have more than the standard population prevalence of 4 to 5% of clients with ADHD in your caseload. So
wow.
they are there. It's just a question of whether they know it, whether you know
Mm,
it, and whether anybody's doing anything to manage it more effectively. But if you're not managing your ADHD effectively, I guarantee your spouse is going to notice and have a few feelings and a couple things to say about it. So,
right.
so that's kind of what we're talking about, is how to
Hmm.
navigate those dynamics more effectively. And again, it's like, I mean, we don't we don't relate to our partner the way we relate to our kids, hopefully, but there are definitely some themes that are going to sort of like cross the two presentations in terms of
Right.
understanding ADHD, negotiating differences, deciding what gets done and how. So, again, if
Wow.
you can come to one or the other or both,
Mm,
and
right.
hopefully it's all going to be helpful, practical stuff that you can use with the next client you see.
Yeah. Well, and it sounds like, I mean, I know it doesn't just sound like that this is something that clinicians are struggling with it, whether they know it or not, and it would be good to know. And
Yep.
so I'm really excited that you're going to be here doing this. I thank you so much for that, for coming, for doing this, so everyone can know what they're going to be getting, or what they have to look forward to. And thanks so much.
Awesome. I look forward to seeing everybody.
Me too. Thursday, December 27th through the 31st. Looking forward, guys.